The year was 2147, and humanity had reached the stars, not through peaceful exploration but by sheer force of will. Earth's military-industrial complex had evolved into something far more terrifying: the Unified Defense Force, UDF. Their motto? "We don't ask for permission, we issue apologies." It wasn't arrogance, it was policy. For decades, humanity had faced alien species that were stronger, faster, and technologically superior. But none of them could match Earth's ferocity or its uncanny ability to turn every loss into a lesson learned. The UDF didn't just fight wars, they dismantled civilizations, one tactical victory at a time. And yet, even they had limits, or so everyone thought. The Zorathians were an ancient race, their empire spanning hundreds of star systems. They were tall, insectoid creatures with shimmering exoskeletons and razor-sharp claws. To them, humans were little more than vermin, short-lived, fragile beings who should have been crushed underfoot centuries ago. Yet here they were, daring to trespass in Zorathian territory. Captain Lysara stood aboard her flagship, the Ecliptica, staring at the holographic display of a tiny blue-green planet on the edge of uncharted space. "Earth!" she hissed, her mandibles clicking in frustration. Her advisors buzzed nervously around her, offering counsel she didn't want to hear. "They're scavengers," said one advisor. "They've stolen technology from countless races. If we let them continue unchecked..." "I know what they are," Lysara snapped, silencing the room. She leaned forward, her multifaceted eyes narrowing. "But this is different. This isn't theft. This is invasion." On the surface below, human forces were already establishing outposts. Mining rigs drilled deep into the planet's crust, while prefabricated domes housed soldiers and scientists alike. The Zorathians hadn't attacked yet. They were waiting, observing. Humanity always made mistakes when left alone. But then came the transmission. A single line of text broadcast across all frequencies, written not in universal galactic code, but in perfect Zorathian script. "You have 3 days to leave. After that, your presence will be considered hostile." Lysara smirked. Typical posturing. Humans always tried to bluff their way out of things. What they failed to understand was that no one bluffed the Zorathians. Not if they wanted to live. Back on Earth, Admiral Marcus Kane sat in his command center, surrounded by screens displaying real-time data feeds from the distant colony. His grizzled face betrayed no emotion as he read the alien message. He turned to his second-in-command, Commander Elena Vega. "They gave us 3 days?" he asked, raising an eyebrow. "Yes, sir," Vega replied. "Standard intimidation tactic. Should we prepare for evacuation?" Kane chuckled darkly. "No. Tell the ground teams to stand down, but keep our orbital cannons online. Let's see how serious these bugs are." Vega hesitated. "Sir, the Zorathians are known for their ruthlessness. Are you sure about this?" Kane leaned back in his chair, steepling his fingers. "Let me tell you something, Commander. Every species we've encountered thinks they're the big bad predator until they meet us. These Zorathians won't be any different. Besides," he grinned wolfishly, "if they attack, it'll give us an excuse to test the new retribution protocol." Vega frowned. The retribution protocol was classified, even among top brass. All she knew was that it involved extreme measures typically reserved for when diplomacy failed spectacularly. 3 days passed without incident. On the 4th day, the Zorathians struck. The attack came swiftly and mercilessly. Swarms of sleek black fighters descended upon the human colony, unleashing devastating plasma barrages. Ground forces scrambled to defend themselves, but the aliens' superior numbers overwhelmed them. Within hours, the once thriving outpost was reduced to smoldering ruins, or so it seemed. As the Zorathian fleet regrouped in orbit, preparing for mop-up operations, something strange happened. The debris field surrounding the planet began to move. Pieces of wreckage coalesced into massive shapes, human warships emerging from stealth mode. Hidden beneath layers of camouflage, they had been lying in wait. Admiral Kane watched the battle unfold from light years away, a satisfied smile playing on his lips. "Initiate Phase 2, he ordered. Phase 2 was simple: obliterate the enemy. The human fleet unleashed a barrage of kinetic missiles, each carrying payloads designed to pierce even the toughest alien armor. The Zorathians never stood a chance. One by one, their ships exploded in brilliant flashes of light. Down on the planet's surface, hidden bunkers opened, revealing heavily armed mechanized units. These weren't ordinary soldiers. They were veterans of countless battles, men and women who had seen horrors most couldn't imagine. Among them was Sergeant Elias Drake, a grizzled warrior whose cybernetic enhancements made him nearly unstoppable. "All right." "Maggots!" Drake barked over the comms. "Time to show these bugs why stepping on Earth's toes is a bad idea." What followed was chaos incarnate. Human forces swept across the battlefield like a tidal wave, reclaiming lost ground inch by bloody inch. The Zorathians fought valiantly, but their tactics were predictable, their movements sluggish compared to the lightning-fast strikes of their opponents. By the end of the day, the colony was secure. The Zorathian fleet had been annihilated, and their commander, Captain Lysara, was captured alive, a rare occurrence in UDF operations. Interrogation chambers aboard the UDF cruiser Invincible were designed to intimidate. Stark white walls reflected harsh lighting, while restraints ensured prisoners remained immobile. Lysara sat strapped to a chair, her exoskeleton cracked and scorched from the battle. Admiral Kane entered the room, flanked by 2 guards. "You underestimated us," Kane said simply, taking a seat across from her. "Why?" Lysara glared at him, her voice dripping with venom. "Because you're weak, fragile. You cling to life like cowards." Kane laughed, a deep, rumbling sound that echoed off the walls. "Ah, but that's where you're wrong. We're not afraid to die. In fact, we embrace it. Because death gives us purpose. It makes us stronger." He leaned closer, his gaze piercing. "Do you know what retirement means in our language? It doesn't mean giving up. It means we've decided you're expendable, that we no longer need permission to kill you." Lysara's antennae twitched in confusion. Before she could respond, Kane stood and gestured to the guards. "Take her away and send a message to her people. Stay out of our way, or you'll regret it." As the doors closed behind him, Kane allowed himself a moment of quiet reflection. Humanity's survival depended on strength, not just physical but mental. They had faced extinction countless times and emerged victorious. Why? Because they refused to give up, refused to surrender. And if that meant earning a reputation as ruthless conquerors, so be it. After all, humanity didn't ask for permission. They issued apologies.